I was in Tanzania last year. I was in Fiji. I was in Mexico. I was in Nicaragua, lots of third world areas. And you look at like what people have to deal with just to survive in third world countries. And I resist being super cliche. Like we should be like really, really grateful for what we have here and stop, don't sweat the small stuff. But if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? So like once you have like the basic like shelter and warmth and food, that's like the base level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Once you have that taken care of, then you're talking about moving up Maslow's hierarchy of needs to like the tip of his triangle is self-actualization and enlightenment. Like, oh, nothing bothers me anymore. So you work your way up and you get wealthier and wealthier. And then at the top, wealth doesn't matter anymore. So like we're working our whole lives to try to ascend this ladder of enlightenment. And at the top of the ladder of enlightenment, you're like, well, nothing really mattered beyond like the base level of my hierarchy. Right. But what I'm trying to get at is that like people, even once that basic baseline of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is taken care of, which, all humans evolved into like hunters and gatherers and like living in caves and then like being able to utilize tools, and our biggest benefit is our ability to adapt and the size of our brain. We're not the fastest. We're not the strongest. We're basically clumsy compared to the rest of the predators out there. But we have this big brain and we're able to adapt. So like once we take care of that base level of needs, we need to find things to keep our big ass brains like occupied. And that is drama. That is drama. Humans need drama, dude. Like I'm telling you, like my point about the third world was not that these people are happy with what they have, because they are. In terms of like a scale of happiness, all of the places that I mentioned have a higher like happiness quotient than the United States, which is ironic because they have so little from a monetary standpoint. But they still need, like once they have, taken care of their basic needs, they still have a need to keep their mind busy. And that is typically, especially in the United States and in developed countries, typically that's drama. So whether or not people want or admit that they are seeking it, they are somehow creating some sort of friction in their brains to keep their brains busy and not to get bored. And that is, I think, the basis of politics and the basis of like interpersonal relationships. And, when you're looking at the microcosm of a workplace, be it a dental practice or, a corporation that employs 100,000 people, there's going to be drama no matter what you do, no matter how well you set it up, no matter how strong your culture is, people need to have it. That's my theory.